Hi, everyone. The story of the Mexican fisherman never gets old. A good friend of mine encouraged me that I needed to tell this story. For those of us who are tempted by the dangling carrot of more success, scaling businesses, and even more wealth, let this story be a reminder to us on the importance of examining our purpose. Bigger is not always better. Simple is always sweeter. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Work Life Eubiosis podcast with your host, Charleston Edwards. If this is your first time here, welcome. My goal is simple: to eradicate burnout and to bring harmony, purpose, and balance to this world, starting with the family. My hope is that this show and the story shared will provide encouragement and ideas that will be valuable to you on your journey to work-life freedom. So let's dive in to today's episode. An American investment banker was at the pier of a small coastal Mexican village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. Inside the small boat were several large yellowfin tuna. The American complimented the Mexican on the quality of his fish and asked how long it took to catch them. The Mexican replied, "Only a little while." The American then asked, "Why didn't you stay out longer and catch more fish?" The Mexican said, "I have enough to support my family's immediate needs." The American then asked, "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican fisherman said, "I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take siestas with my wife Maria, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life." The American scoffed, "I am a Harvard MBA and could help you. You should spend more time fishing, and with the proceeds, buy a bigger boat. With the proceeds from the bigger boat, you could buy several boats. Eventually, you would have a fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your batch or your catch to a middleman, you would sell directly to the processor, eventually opening up your own cannery. You would control the product, processing, and distribution. You would need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City, then LA, and eventually New York City, where you will run your expanding enterprise." The Mexican fisherman asked, "But how long will all of this take?" To which the American replied, "About 15 to 20 years. "But then what?" asked the Mexican. The American laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right, you would announce an IPO and sell your company's stock to the public. If you become very rich, you would make millions." "Millions? Then what?" said the Mexican. The American said, "Then you would retire, move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take siestas with your wife, stroll to the village in the evenings where you could sip some wine and play your guitar with your amigos." Our minds may be complex, but it does not mean we have to make life difficult. The full life of the Mexican fisherman does not mean to quit our full-time jobs. It does not mean to be lazy. It doesn't mean to let go of ambitions. It does not mean that it's bad to be rich. But the story does challenge what it means to have a full life. It challenges us to know our motivations and purposes of our work. What the Mexican fisherman found was enough fulfillment, not a life earning fulfillment. He chose a full life over a life full of achievements. Whatever type of overwhelm is showing up in your life, I challenge you to examine this parable and ask yourself a few of these next questions. Where's overwhelm showing up in my life? If I'm overwhelmed, what can I eliminate? What is the worst thing that will happen if I eliminate non-mission critical tasks? If I'm discontent with my life, where are my expectations not meeting reality? Am I thoroughly enjoying how I am spending my time? Am I living my life on purpose and with purpose? What is my ultimate goal in my endeavors and ambitions in life? What type of life do I envision for myself now, and does it differ for when I retire? What does enough mean for me and or my family? What steps can I take today to further simplify my spending, both in my wallet and my calendar, to get me closer to a fuller and fulfilling life? As I reflect on this story, both men have been blessed. One is rich with money and the other is rich in time. Neither is wrong. We don't know if the rich man was fulfilled in life, but we are reminded that fulfillment can come without the riches. Thank you for listening to the Work-Life Eubiosis podcast, part of the Work-Life resources created by Own Your 5 to 9. I hope that you have found encouragement and a few ideas to strengthen your journey to purpose, freedom, and balance. Have you overcome burnout and found a new way of life? Millions around the globe are still at the risk of burnout and losing it all. And your story may be the one that sparks not only a dream, but action. Visit ownyour5to9.com for more information and submit your story. While you're there, join the Work-Life Eubiosis newsletter and receive additional resources weekly right to your inbox. If you enjoy this podcast, take time to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Share it with a friend or loved one. Remember, the most important organization in the world is the family. Let's do our part to strengthen it. Thank you for listening.